injury. Here's how both teams felt about the whole thing, starting with AD.
It's going to be a challenge to repeat, obviously. It's going to be a challenge to beat this team. And in order for our team to do that, I'm going to have to, play how I play tonight or better.
And that's Chris, man. He's going to fight. He's a warrior out there. And, I know he doesn't want anything more than, to win these games. So I know he's going to do everything in his power to be out there. Obviously, still bothering him. We have a short couple days, that he can get some recovery and treatment in to, hopefully get it right for next game.
So a lot of different perspectives there. Robert, for you, what's the bigger story from Game 2? That AD went out and did what he said he was going to do, put the team on his back, or Chris Paul having to play just those limited minutes? And just the way Chris looked, you saw him kind of doing this for a while, right?
Yes. For me, AD, that's what he does. He has a bad game, then he redeems himself by coming and having a good game. But I think with Chris Paul being out, think about it, this guy was in the hunt for MVP. He took this Suns team. I know you got the other guys on the team that were there last year, but he brought in that veteran leadership and put this team pretty much on his back. And think about this. Cameron Payne is playing out of his mind. And a lot of that has to do with CP3 always in his ear and telling him how to play. With his leadership, with that team, they've risen to a new level. With him being hurt like this, it hurts them. He gets them off to a good start, but he needs to be on that floor. He's that floor general that they have to have on the court.
And I think I agree, but I say it's hand in hand. I think both, because I feel like if the Lakers go down 0-2, our conversation today is a little different as well.
What's wrong with the LA team?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. What's wrong with the LA team? So for AD, he needed to have a big start.
Yes.
And that's what I talked about yesterday is feed him early and often, and then LeBron will piggyback from there, and it opens the floor up for both of those guys, particularly Anthony Davis. On the other hand, Chris Paul played 70 games. He's the head of the snake. He's the leader. He has the unbelievable basketball IQ, and he can put guys in positions and like he's done for campaign. And I think Monty made a tough decision on sitting him out. But Cameron Payne played great, 19.7 assists. I mean, Chris Paul gives you that, but it just wasn't enough. And, we're not even talking about how well Ayton played.
Right.
He played great as well.
Both nights, game 1 and game 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 21 and 10.
Right.
And we're not talking about him. It's just, I don't know. It's not enough.
It's tough. And look, you feel for Chris Paul, right? Had the hamstring a couple years ago in the conference finals, just awful timing. This just a freak injury. I was in the building when it happened on Sunday, and it was just a teammate. It was just a freak injury. And this is a guy who has worked so hard to get into better condition so that he could play. He almost missed no games the last 2 seasons. That whole Chris Paul is having injury problems now and the end of his career, that was done because he had 2 great seasons of being present and accountable and available for his team. And then this freak thing happens. The only solace, I guess, is that a lot of the work he had done with this team, when you talk about giving Cameron Payne confidence, helping DeAndre Ayton, we know CP's record when it comes to improving the centers around him. That work had been done during the season. So he got all of these guys to the point where they can perform as they've had the last couple games. Still, when you guys see, it's being listed as a shoulder bruise, and none of us up here are doctors, but in your experience as basketball players, when you see Chris and the way his shot is and what you see him kind of trying to work out on the side, what does it bring to mind for you?
What was glaring to me is dribbling the ball and all of a sudden losing it in open court by himself. That's one of the things I was like, okay. It feels like, he's doing this, nerve damage, trying to get some blood flow, and that's what I thought was, they said bruise. I was like, maybe it's a nerve situation.
Could be a little bit of many things.
It reminds me of a stinger, like guys getting football. Now you got the numbness in your hand or hitting your funny bone. But for me, when you're doing this, that's nerves. And like Finn said, he's dribbling right. He's right-handed, and all of a sudden the ball goes that way. He's looking like, what's going on? Like,
this
how did I lose
point guard. I mean, this is not someone who loses his handle.
Yeah, it's just so weird. His handles are usually so tight and precise, and for him not to be able to field, even on his jump shot, if you look at his release, it's kind of like short. It's like he's pulling back instead of the nice flow. It goes from the jump shot to the handles, and the only thing that can help is his defense, but you got to be able to score, and you got to be able to penetrate and dish.
And you can see the frustration in his face of him losing the ball. He's like, I don't lose the ball. That's not what I do.
He's like, what's going on?
And in clutch situations where they need buckets, he gets the big on the switch, gets to the elbow, pull up. He can't do it as often. and you can see his frustration. And the one shot he did make, you see he was motivated.
Yeah.
He was like, come on, let's go, figure out a way.
Right.
And he's trying, it's just not working out for
Right.
him.
And as I said, we're not trying to diagnose Chris Paul, but it's so fascinating to hear you guys talk about how it's affecting him in different parts of the game, in his game. And hopefully he will be better by the time these guys play game 3. All right, coming up, we got so much more in this.
And in my case, it's a make or switch league.
Still my favorite. Still so good. All right, make degree of difficulty, and the man is not lying. Just saying. All right, Luka hit not one, but 2 ridiculous shots in the closing minutes of the
Make it
third.
rain.
All right, so Rob, if you were in the league today, how would you defend Luka?
You know, I'm asking for a double team. You have to double team, get the ball out of his hands because he's too crafty. And he can make so many things happen. And you watch this guy, like, he's not fast. He's not quick. How is he getting this shot? No, but he's just Luka.
Yeah, Luka plays at his own pace. And
Yes.
I played in the playoffs against Jeff Van Gundy's Knicks.
Okay.
And he double-teamed me at half court coming up. And he made me get rid of the ball at half court and make
Right.
somebody else make plays. So
Right.
I'd try it, and see what happens.
I mean, I will say that there were several times I saw Luka just weave right around a double team last
Yeah,
night.
this
Just
is
sort
true.
of like, nah. Miss footing. PG getting KP on the switch, drops to the hardwood. We showed you this one earlier, too.
Get your roll on.
A little R-rated from PG-13. He started the game good. I mean, this is what's just crazy, is that he and Kawhi both had fantastic first halves, and then you got to play the second half.
Look at that. I mean, it's just...
Yeah. But in all seriousness, though, you talk about defending Luka, you've got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, who are supposed to be 2 of the best defenders in the game.
Especially with Kawhi Leonard. I thought he'd be one of those guys that's strong enough, tall enough, and quick enough to guard him.
Yep.
But Luke was finding a way to get that rainbow shot off on him and doing certain things.
He's a gifted offensive player that knows how to get his shot and plays at his own speed, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, make elevation. Let's get over to the Lakers-Suns game. LA out and running. LeBron climbing the ladder.
Go get it.
Hacks it with one hand. So, Vince, you have some experience with doing stuff like this in year 18. How does it change as you age as a dunker?
How does it change? I mean,
Not much,
it's mentality.
apparently.
It's just mentality. Like for him, you can't tell him that he's not able to do that at
Right.
38. I mean, it's just in him until you believe that you can't do it. That's all I got.
You got certain guys that are just incredible athletes. Vince, you were one, and LeBron's another. He could probably be at 50 dunking, like Spud Webb was. You know, he was dunking at 50, so LeBron going to be dunking it a long time.
Robert, Vince Carter dunked on that hoop the other day at age 44.
I saw that.
I don't know about 50.
In a suit.
But he's getting there.
We'll see
I don't want to
6 years.
prematurely age you, but, you know. Miss posterity,
Are we-
Anthony Davis taking the flat-footed jumper, then catches Jay Crowder in a sensitive area. It was ruled a flagrant. AD said he apologized. He said that Jay knew it was not on purpose. Good call, though, for the flagrant, Rob?
You know, it set a precedent when Draymond Green did it, and so it's kind of like, oh, we got to do the AD thing. But I think when guys are shooting out, every guy kicks out now because that's just what they do. And he just happened to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. So I hope there's no
Rob,
punishment for
you
it.
know, with the fadeaway shot, sometimes in that position, the kick is what gets you there. Sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And
It's
you're trying to, as you-
unfortunate, but they have to call it.
Well, you're trying to draw that call, too, now that they're calling not being in the landing space,
Yeah.
right? So they're trying to get that.
Right.
We thought it might be fine, though, to run it back to the Jump's most memorable below-the-belt hits, 2016. You mentioned it, Robert. LeBron firing that pass right to the groin of D'Angelo Russell. So I guess this was not the Draymond one, but yes, same year.
Man, this is weird, though. It's like LeBron, his passes come quick, fast,
Look
and
at
with
that.
some heat. And that hits you right in the bread basket. That one's going to sting for a long time.
2013, Boogie sets a screen. Dennis Schroeder takes some exception. Here we go.
Oh no, that's a flagrant.
Yeah.
That's a flagrant.
Fighting
It's just
words.
not cool. 2015, Rodney Hood with the and one. Steven Adams just in the wrong place at the wrong time on that one. That's just.
So you
Look
got
out
the foul.
below in two different ways.
Yep. Oh. No, you don't. Yeah. But he was very funny about it afterward. 2013, Carlos Boozer to the ref.
Oh man, I remember this.
Right? No, yeah. He's like, wait, I did not mean to do that.
And one more.
I'm shocked that this doesn't happen a lot. So guys are so
Yes.
animated now, they can get hit in the face. and
Paul
go on.
Pierce almost knocked a ref out. Number 2016, we all knew this was on there, right? Oh, we're getting here back to this one. This is the below the belt on Steven Adams. Right?
Are we picking on Steven Adams today?
Man. Yeah, listen.
Again, you know what it shows? It shows that, right, that he's willing to stand in there and take
one for
'cause
the
he's
team?
Tough. No? Okay. All right, coming up. I'm so excited about this. 7-time All-Star LaMarcus Aldridge joining the show. He's got the latest on his health and some insight into his former team, the Nets, and he'll do some analyzation on the rest of the bracket as well. Stay tuned.